What's up, communists? Welcome back to the Social Commune, or rather, welcome to the Social Commune. This is officially the first episode of the podcast. Podcast, we just talk about whatever, um, social news and other socialist/slash communist ideals. Um, Here's my co-host, Nicholas. Hi, Nicholas.
Hello, Nicholas. Who's Nicholas?
So you know the guy, Nicocado Avocado.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, everybody. My name's Nicocado Avocado. I'll be your co-host, and I'll just be talking to my good friend here, the leader of the communist regime. He's a great leader. Don't disrespect him, or he'll kill you. He took away
This is
my
true,
food. Now I'm skinny. I didn't want to be.
and now I'm
He
fat.
took. I don't have any more avocados, and I'm gonna.
I'm gonna
I'm
start
gonna
my
kill. I
own.
mean, he's the best leader ever.
It's not like I stole his food. It's more like he, as a citizen of this communist world, he has a moral obligation to share his share of the food with me, and since he has more food, I get to indulge on that.
Yeah. uh,
Crying
yeah.
boy.
Just like what he said. Uh,
You keep that up, no rations for a week.
avocado without food has a six-pack.
No, he was skinny. He never had it. He never had a six pack.
He was.
Yeah, at the beginning of his career, he was a real skinny dude.
You got a
Okay,
topic for us? Ben?
a topic. Yeah, our topic is injuries we had as a child. Now, growing up,
There's-
we were kids, you know. At least for me, I was a kid, and I was very good at eating dirt and mud of the sorts.
Most of us are.
Yeah. So we had. I'm sure you also have had your share of injuries in the past. Is this correct?
Yeah. Quite a
Right.
few as a little wee nickling.
You want to go first on the storytelling list, or do you want me to?
No, give me a second to think about it because I've got one in mind, but
I got one.
kind of a short story, so I'm trying to think of a bit of a better one.
So once upon a time, I was about, I don't know, we'll say I was 6 years old, and my sister, it was her birthday, and she got a brand new bicycle, you know, and,
Nice.
and me being the little cocky um, little cocky boy I wanted to. I was very good runner, you know. I wanted to race my sister on her bike to see if I could run faster than her on it. And lo and behold, we started a race. It was me versus her, and at the sound of the gunshots, we were running. I was running, she was pedaling, and we go, and my sister was really crap at riding a bike, and she ran over my leg, and I had tripped, and I fell straight on the concrete, and I skinned my knee. I cried, and then my father, he took me in his loving arms, and he said, "Son, your knee isn't hurt. It's not even skinned. You just really fell on it hard, I guess." And I was like, "Okay, I believe you." Wah, wah, I said. And then my mother says, "No, no, husband of mine, your son has a skinned knee." And I looked, and on the other side of my knee, and there was a wound the size of Bill Clinton's forehead. And I
Whoa.
said, "Wah," even louder. And lo and behold, there I was. Then she threw me in the bath, and I had a bath. That is the end of the story. And the band aid fell off. I remember that part. I was like, oh, how am
That
I going to
hurt?
heal without a band aid?
Oh, you thought that the Band-Aid was the thing that made you heal.
Yeah.
My story starts when I was around, I think, like 9 or 10 years old. I was a wee little lad, and I was walking with my father through. There's a creek behind my house. That's gonna be important for the story. Not directly, but there's like a little walk that you can take down, and there'll be a creek, and then you can cross that to go to a nearby park. And me and my dad went, and we would go to the park along this path quite often. And one day, me and my father, we came to the creek, and we have to cross the creek each time. And there's usually like a tree that's fallen down that you can cross it by. But this time, like at this point in time, there was no tree, so it was pretty difficult to get across.
See.
Uh, and I was a little child, a wee little boy. I was just watching George of the Jungle, like I don't know, quite recently, and there was a vine. There's this really big vine. You might be able to tell where the story is about to go. I grabbed the vine, and my dad, being the best father I know, does not stop me. I I jump I jump with the vine over the creek, and I come back down. Everything's fine. I'm perfectly okay.
Oh.
My dad's like, "Let's film it." And so he gets his camera ready. He's got the camera ready. He's got everything. Camera, lights, action. I start running up. I jump. I swing. I fall face first into the water. The vine breaks. I plunge into the water below. It's like not even a foot. I was just really cold.
So you didn't even get that injured.
I was traumatized,
I have
mentally injured.
I have one very similar to that. Um, so when I was growing up, I was being raised in the southern area of Arizona, very um, very deserty sort of place, and so we don't have creeks like that. But we did live in the suburbs, and subs, one might say. And me and my sister, we had this tree, and you know how you were swinging on a rather thick vine.
Yeah, it was a pretty chunky boy.
Yeah. So there was this one that had like a circumference of like 3 centimeters, maybe.
I see. I see.
Very very thin, very thin. And I had watched the not George of the Jungle, but The Emperor's New Groove, right?
Oh,
And you know
amazing
that one
movie.
scene where the fat dude he comes out of nowhere and saves him from the jaguars.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Um, he comes out,
You
and my
try to.
sister. I tried to do the same thing, and first I was gonna do it, and then my sister because I'm more masculine than her, and 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 I said, "Hey, if I biff it on the concrete, you owe me $1. You owe me $1." And she's like, "Fine, whatever. You're not gonna biff it though, so I don't have to worry about it." Because for some reason in our minds, I weighed only like 2 pounds, and so I swing. I put all my force on this vine, and I fell um, on my head like 3 or 4 feet off the ground, and I was seeing stars. I was like, oh my god! I didn't even cry with that one. I was just like, you
Yeah.
owe me $1, loser.
So I'm a little curious about this. You You were betting on the fact that the vine was going to break, and you
No,
still did.
we were betting on that it wouldn't break.
And why did you put your money on the line that it would?
No, no. I
I
said
apologize. I'm
if you owe me if I fall and biff it, you owe me $1.
okay. I'm sorry. I was a little confused.
Yeah, and I still haven't been paid. So
Now you're old enough to just rob her.
okay, ballers. This is a quick word from our sponsor, yours truly. So ballers, we're taking a look at two different people today. This this first is John Debussy. John Debussy, he's very poor. He has nothing to his name. He has no friends, no lovers, no purpose in life. He's homeless. As you can see, he has no money, you know? He's real upset about that. Oh, look, he even found $1. How fortunate for him. Now we're gonna look at Jonathan Big Balls. This is the only difference between Jonathan Big Balls and John Debussy is that Jonathan Big Balls has invested in yours truly. You know, ever since he invested in yours truly, he found love, he found friends, he found someone to tell him to do something about his piece of crap life. You too can be like Jonathan Big Balls, rich, with love, with multiple friends, you know, a good status to his name, only if you buy yours truly. Use the promo code BIGBALLS in your next checkout to receive a 30% off deal. Remember, 30% off. That's a lot. That's the biggest of this year. So please go over to um, yourstruly.com and make sure to click on the little tab where it says podcast. Put in your promo code Big Balls, all capital, no spaces, for 30% off. Okay. Back to the show.
Ben, I have a question for you. This is quite a general one, but what are your thoughts on the internet and its evolution over the years?
So when I was growing up, um, my first introduction to the internet was, I think the first video I ever watched was a Smosh video, believe it or not. And actually, strike that. The video, the first video I watched was like a Ben 10 re-upload because that was allowed. You know, you could just pirate videos back in like 2010 or whatever. And
Yeah.
I was watching this like during nap time when I shouldn't have been because I loved Ben 10, you know. Um, but then I didn't know how the internet worked and I didn't know how to click on stuff, so I just clicked on something random and it was a Smosh video. And I can't find it. So, audio listeners and video watchers, this is your homework. Go and find this Smosh video. Um, it was like, I don't know what it was called, but Anthony Padilla is eating his own shit because he has no toilet paper and he's at his friend's house and he doesn't want to ruin one of his towels and he's like, well, my dog does it. And then Ian Hecox walks in and he's like, bro, are you eating your own shit? uh, and then I
You
watched
know, I've never
10
and now I
and then I
don't want
watched
to.
a 10-hour repeat of Pikachu um, just saying Pikachu in a cute voice. And I didn't know how to like click off it, so I just watched it, and I was like, Pikachu, I would die for you. You're so cute. So all in all, I hate the internet. It's terrible, but it's better now, even with all the censorship. I can get my brain rot media, so I'm not really complaining.
Yep. You gotta you gotta accept the bad parts of the internet because there are many more good parts in my
Yeah,
experience.
yeah,
Except DDP 445.
yeah. That guy sucks. What was your introduction?
Yeah, no, my introduction. Similar to yours, I but a lot more vague one because I like a lot of my family. It's a lot. They're all a lot older than me, so they all knew like YouTube and everything. So I think my first introduction was just with my brother, uh, and he was just watching a video, and I would always just like watch over his shoulder, like any little brother would do.
Right.
Uh, totally didn't annoy him when I was doing that. I promise.
Totally not.
um, yeah, and then I think the first channel I watched was Stampy, that
Ah,
British guy. Yeah, Stampy, and a bunch of similar to you clips from like shows and stuff.
huh.
If you know the Avengers like animated show, you know what that one is.
I never watched it, but yes, I know what you're referencing.
Have you ever? Yeah, I watched the majority of that show on YouTube, just pirated clips.
Love that.
Like I saw like, the vast majority of the episodes because I went back to watch it at a different time, and I realized I had seen like almost the entirety of the show from just like the little YouTube clips.
Hmm.
It was a beautiful time to be alive. And then later on, I would stop watching over my brother and start, watching some other people. I watched a lot of animators,
Right.
like the Odd Ones
Odd
Out
ones out.
animations. Yeah,
That's YT. Yeah.
yeah, that was a little later, I think. Though.
Yeah, yeah, I was like that. I grew into the animation, which is why I love animation as it is now. How old were you when you first started that?
When I first, I was baby. As I said, I was just watching over my brother, and you have brothers, so you can probably testify, little brothers, so you can probably testify. They just like sit next to you.
Yeah, I don't let them watch what I'm
What you,
watching because it's like not good for their growing brains, you know.
yeah, but my older brother, he's better than you. So, you know,
Oh, yeah, yeah, probably.
he's 5 years older than me, and he only let me watch him sometimes. So I didn't watch everything he saw.
Right.
There was one YouTube channel that I saw him watch, and he didn't want me to watch it. Now, let me. This, what is it called? It's a really popular one back in the day, and it still is. One with the two dudes. Oh God.
The two dudes.
I think one of their names was like Link.
Oh, Rhett and Link.
Rhett and Link. Yeah, he would watch. My brother would watch their stuff, and I
Oh,
still remember him watching their stuff. And that's like the one thing that I
really?
remember of him watching. And so that was probably one of the first things I watched on YouTube.
That's actually that's really cool.
Yeah, way way back in the day, like crazy.
So you was a
Maybe on
Rhett
the,
and Link original, and I was a Smosh original.
I wouldn't say I was original because they've been on the internet for a long time, and I still
Yeah, I guess
yeah.
you're right.
But yeah, I watched some of their stuff whew, years and years ago. I don't even really remember it. It was like a food review,
Yeah, that makes
like this
sense.
random stuff.
Good mythical morning. Yeah.
Oh, Good Mythical Morning. That's the name of it. Got any other topics right at the top of your head, or
Um, another topic. Yeah, just make sure to subscribe and hit that bell. You know, get her done. You know. Is, if you don't like the quality of this recording, that's your own fault for not subscribing and giving us money. Please give us money.
Honestly, if you really want to help us make a difference, you should leave a comment.
Yeah, if you want the
Uh,
social commune to evolve into a government standpoint, make sure to subscribe. And when we run for state senators in the near decades, make sure you can say that when you vote, you can say I listened to the podcast way before it was cool.
yeah, yeah, you gotta be there first. I want at least 10 people to write first in the comments below,
Exactly.
and I'm sure all of you will. Every single person that writes first is really first, at least in my heart. Well, thank you everybody for listening in to the social commune. We really appreciate your attention. Getting to the end is honestly it's the best thing you can do for us.
Yeah.
And if you listen to every single one of our podcasts and you reverse the audio, you might hear some really